Good morning, everyone. From Prague, it is day one. It's just past 7 in the morning. Today is the day of all of my pre-operative exams. I had the worst night's sleep. I'm just gonna blame it on the Airbnb bed. I'm gonna complain about it. It's just really bad. But also probably because I have some tension already. You know, you've been waiting for months for this day to come, and then now it's finally here. This whole week could be like the most important week of my life in that sense. I'm gonna make my way to the clinic now. I'm supposed to be there at 7:45 in the morning, which is quite early. I'm gonna do all my tests. Not really sure exactly what awaits because there's different ways of doing different things, but we need to be calm and take it just as it comes. I'm gonna try and bring you with me to the clinic. I don't quite know yet exactly how that's gonna go, but I'll keep you updated as best as I can. I just finished the first round of tests here in the clinic. Everybody is super nice. English is very well spoken. Really good first impression. I met a representative, her name is Aneta, from the company that I'm with. It's called Praha Medica. She's also the one that I've been emailing with. And she set my appointment, so she met me here. She's taking me through all of the different stages. So far so good. Good, solid, professional, modern first impression. Now I am back from the clinic. Looking back, there was absolutely nothing to worry about. It's pretty much every standard eye test that if you're wearing glasses or contacts, you've all done it before. Everybody was, again, super friendly, super professional. There was one other international client from Northern Ireland. Overall, it's all good. The lenses have been ordered. The appointments all have been set. I will have my surgery in 2 days from now for the first eye, and then 2 days after the second eye. I'm going to start with my left eye because apparently my right eye is the dominant one. Now, another pro tip I definitely want to give is bring somebody to the pre-op exams, because at the end they're gonna drop your eye, or put drops in your eye, and it's going to blur out your vision. So I had to ask the clinic to call my Uber, etc., because I physically couldn't see what was on my phone, and it's now a couple hours later, and now it's slowly getting back to normal. But other than that, let's just do it, and let's get this over with. Good morning. It is day 2 here in Prague. Nothing planned in that sense. Surgery-wise, just gonna go sightseeing today into the city. Should be fun. 2 things I want to share. Number 1, I woke up this morning with an incredible headache. I'm wondering if that's because I slept really bad or because that's subconsciously already tension building for what is to come tomorrow. Let's hope I just slept really, really bad. So that's 1. Number 2, I thought I would share, because I forgot to mention it yesterday. So one of the questions that I asked the surgeon was, why is it that in some clinics you can get ICL done both eyes on the same day, and then in other clinics such as mine, there's a day in between, and then in other clinics sometimes you even have to wait a week or 2 weeks. Why is there no uniform standard between all of that? The answer that I got I thought was quite interesting, that I want to share with you, and that was the fact that they said that clinics that provide ICL surgery on both eyes on the same day, they see the surgery and they take the approach that it's kind of the same as LASIK. So it's a surgery that you do on the eye, so you can do it same day, just as you would with LASIK. And they said that for them, ICL is not a surgery on the eye, but it's a surgery in the eye. And therefore, you want to be extra careful. Hence, you want to do one eye first, make 100% sure everything's fine, and then move on to the next eye. So that's why they wait a day to see and to avoid any kind of complication, etc., etc. So I thought I would share that with you. But yeah, so I'll check in with you guys maybe later, if not tomorrow. Surgery for tomorrow is scheduled at 10:20, or at least that's when I have to be at the clinic. They said it would take 2 to 3 hours total. Surgery itself, of course, will only take 10 minutes, but I have to do some more checks, all the drops in my eyes, and then I think after the surgery, they keep you in the hospital as well for a little while just to double check your eye pressure and all these things before they dismiss you. I wish I could say I had the surgery and everything went fine, but unfortunately that's not the case. Came into the clinic, everything fine, and then we sat there for like 20 minutes. There was a guy from the UK, he went before me, at least they took him to the back. And then they came back to me and they said that unfortunately my lenses had not arrived yet, which was the reason for the initial reschedule. Now for context, these lenses are coming from Switzerland, they're custom made, I think. And they are ordered with express delivery, so they are already in Prague. It's just that the physical courier to bring it to the clinic is delayed, hence whatever. So we went to the shopping mall next door, they said that's okay, and then they'll just give us a call, but really no idea. We could be here for 30 minutes, we could be here for another 5 hours, well not 5 hours, but for another hour and a half or so. The only positive thing from this is that the later in the day we have this surgery, the earlier you can just go to bed, sleep, wake up the next day and all is fine, right? So, yeah, little twist, plot twist. The clinic just called that the lenses have arrived. I think the total wait was just like 20 minutes or so. So we are now walking back to the clinic and then the surgery is actually going to happen. I'm very excited and nervous. Okay, fast forward. Surgery 1 is finished. I'm so sorry because I wanted to kind of bring you guys along as much as I can, but it turns out that that's not really possible. So let me break it down to you in as much detail that I can as to what actually happened. And I hope this is going to be really, really helpful to you. Now, we got back, they called us, the lenses are ready. We went immediately back to the clinic. I got there and they basically immediately took me to the back. First thing that you do is that you take off your shoes and they give you like this hospital slippers, if you will. From there, we walked to an area where you can change clothes because you have to bring a fresh pair of clothes. And then you can put all your stuff into a locker. That includes your phone, your, in this case, voice recorder, also my glasses. And because they were like, you don't need them. I was like, okay. So after you're fully changed, they're going to give you the option for like a little, literally a super tiny anxiety pill. I was still feeling very calm, but I thought, okay, I'm going to take it anyway. Better safe than sorry. And then there's many kind of like massage chairs where you can pick one that's free. And I chose one in the corner. There were many people, mainly all from the UK, quite surprising. So it really felt like it was the international surgery hour almost. And then you take a seat and then they start with dropping or putting eye drops in your eye. Firstly, that's just very normal, very plain. And then as the group is kind of progressing and as one by one you go into the surgery, things starts to change. So that means that they put like the hair net cap thing on and they put a sticker on. Then a little while later, they ask you to put like the surgery gown on, and then they put the thing protection around your shoes. And then they ask you to disinfect your hands, or they do that for you because you're having drops in your eyes. So then it's finally my turn. And you go through, basically through a door where there's a chair and they ask you to sit there. And behind that is another door where the surgery actually takes place. So I sat there for a couple minutes. I think because, they're doing one surgery after the next. So one surgery just finished. I was sitting there already. The doctor came, the surgeon, just reconfirmed what it is that he was going to do. And then I could go into the surgery or the operating room where there was a super bright yellow chair. So I could sit in there, make myself comfortable, and then it goes like all the way flat, just like you're flying business or first class on an airplane. That was kind of the feeling that I got. They put a like a pillow under your knees so that it's kind of comfortable. And then, they put all sorts of disinfect stuff on your face, basically. And then they put a cover. I mean, all this time, it's kind of what I'm guessing, right? Because I have my eyes closed because of all the drops. Then they cover your face with something, and I feel that they probably cut a hole or something. And then they ask you to open your eyes, and they put like this clamp in your eye. And this was one of the things that I was kind of worried about up front, like, how is that going to feel? Because my impression was that was going to be highly uncomfortable, but actually nothing to worry about at all. And then the surgeon started to do some things. Basically, they put a mass amount of more numbing drops in your eye. They put they put so much stuff in your eye. I have no idea what it is. And the surgeon starts doing stuff. And then at a certain point, he flashes on the lights, and then he asks to just stare into the light. And I think that out of the whole surgery, that was just the most challenging thing, because the lights were just so incredibly bright. Like, because it's so bright, and also because your eye is kind of so wide open because of the clamps, you just want to squeeze and close your eyes, and it's just not possible. The surgeon then just started doing his stuff. Now, what I thought was going to happen is that when you go online and you look for ICL surgeries on YouTube, etc., if you watch them, you can see that basically the surgeon is making some sort of an incision with a little tube, and then through that, they kind of push the lens in your eye, and as the lens kind of comes into your eye, it opens up, it folds out, and then he just needs to kind of put it into place, and that's it. So my assumption was that from the other side, I would physically see something entering into my eye and then opening up. I don't know, that was kind of what I was expecting, but the reality is that I didn't see anything, like nothing. I just stared into the light, and the lights, yes, they changed. They went from super bright to intensely bright, back and forth, and periodically they put some more stuff in my eye, and I was moving my legs a little bit, so I was warned not to move my legs. And then after a couple minutes, it was over. And I felt nothing, even though the surgeon at some point was like, okay, you'll feel some pressure. Didn't feel anything. So overall, my first eye, the experience, really positive in terms of nothing, absolutely nothing to worry about. You feel absolutely nothing. You also don't see anything except for just bright, bright lights. So if you're considering this surgery, please take some confidence in my experience that it's going to be all right. After the surgery, I got back up. They took a picture or like a selfie with the surgeon, and I went back to the original room with the massage chairs. They asked me to sit. Had to wait there for like half an hour. Then they came by and they gave me the drops that I need to start using as of tomorrow. They gave me some instructions. They gave me a little present, which comes from Praha Medica, the organization that I've used. So that was pretty cool. And then they take me to another room. And then at some point you get to change clothes again, back into your normal clothes. And then, which also means that you get your phone back. And then they take you to another room and they measure your eye pressure. And if that's all okay, you have to wait a little bit more. Then you go back to to another exam where they just check into your eye to see if everything is good, if everything is how it should be, which it was. And then they repatch your eye back up, and then tomorrow at 9:25 I have my checkup. So long story short, this was a really good positive experience, and I'm really hoping that when I wake up tomorrow that I will be able to see, and that I will be able to see clearly with that eye, and that I can really look forward to my surgery on Friday. Yeah, that's kind of it. Nothing to worry about. There were, like I said, many other people, lots of people from the UK. There was a guy sitting next to me. He was intensely nervous. He asked for a double dose of the relaxation stuff, and which he got, and he asked for like a ton of numbing drops, because at a certain point when they put numbing drops in your eye, you just don't feel anything anymore, right? They can they can put as much stuff in your eye as you want, but you just don't feel anything. And he just kept on saying, "Oh, I feel it." So they were like, "Okay, shit, we need to put more drops in." That was kind of funny. And then, of course, when he came out of his surgery, he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's no big deal." And I was like, "Yeah, because you're like high on drugs." Anyways, I digress. Tomorrow is the checkup. I'll take you there with me as well. I'll conclude with this so far, is that my right eye surgery on Friday is going to be at like 10 a.m. The pro to that is that you can kind of get it over with, and that's it. The con, which is kind of what I was experiencing today, what I really like is that the whole thing, start to finish, took just under 2 hours, with all the drops, etc. And that means that by the time I got home, so I was at like 2 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, and then at 4:30 I'm home, is that now I can start to think about dinner, and then depending on how I feel good, by the way, you can make it an early night and go to sleep, wake up the next morning. So there is, to me, a big pro in having this surgery at the end of the day. Even though if it means that you need to think about it all day, I would recommend you consider doing it at the end of the day, just because of the recovery afterwards. It's just so much better. Because now I have one eye that's good and one that isn't. That's just highly annoying already. Anyways, guys, I digress. I just wanted to share my experience with you for the first eye. I hope this helps if you are considering this surgery. Make sure also to check out my blog on hubert.com. I will write a very detailed post on this. I took some pictures along the way. I'll share the photo also that they took with me and the surgeon, so you can see everything. But yeah, I'm feeling hungry now, so gonna eat, sleep, and then tomorrow, well, not repeat, that's on Friday, but tomorrow we'll go for the checkup. Now, I slept really well. The best night's sleep, but that's because the Airbnb people, they fixed the bed. No issue with my eye, no pain, no discomfort, absolutely nothing. But I still have an eye patch on. So I think the moment has come now that I can take off my eye patch and see if I can actually see through my eye. I want to manage expectation a little bit. And that's because originally my surgery was going to be at 10. And then it's almost like then you have to put the eye patch on the entire day, or you have to remove it the next day. So it's not a full 24 hours yet. So if I don't see clearly yet, that's probably the reason why. So yeah, let's take off, because my dad's sitting here at the kitchen table. It's 7-something in the morning. Let's take off the eye patch, Dad, and let's see if we can see. Whoa, yeah. I can read this, yeah. There's a quote on the wall that says, "Let's find some beautiful place to get lost," which I can read. That's quite bizarre. Yeah. Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I can just see your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Wow, that's kind of bizarre. Yeah. Wow. It's not completely sharp yet, but again, it hasn't been even 24 hours yet. So, wow. Okay, I cannot wait for tomorrow for the other surgery. It's gonna be great. I can see. That's awesome. Just came back from the checkup. All good. It's quite funny because you see everybody that was in kind of the surgery room as we were getting drops yesterday. Everybody's kind of back at the same time. And now, of course, at least with one eye, I can kind of clearly see who these people were. Checkup, really fine. They just measure your eye pressure and then some other device to just look into your eye. It's all good. Still no pain. All is good. Just so you know that it's all good. I do have a little bit of halos, but again, that's very normal. And then, yeah, tomorrow at 10:40, I have to be back at the clinic. And then hopefully by 12 o'clock, we are done. So far, so good. Today is the day of the second eye surgery. And then we are done, finished. Awesome. We'll be leaving for the clinic in around 15 minutes or so. But before we do, I just wanted to share some random thoughts that I was having and kind of experiences. First one being is that when you have in this case, my left eye is done, my right eye isn't. So I taped, I took 2 pairs of glasses. On one glasses, I taped the left side, and on the other side, I taped the right eye for me to switch kind of what eye that I'm using, because it's actually way tiring than I thought if you only have one eye that you can use. And if you go to YouTube, actually, there's a video from a girl. I think she lives in Scotland, in Edinburgh. She's an archaeologist, I think. And in her clinic, they make her wait a whole week. So she has to go a whole week with just one eye. And I'm already, after one day, like, holy crap, this is actually way more exhausting on the eye than I imagined. So I'm really happy that I only have to do that only today, and then tomorrow, or maybe even at the end of today, depending on how my eye feels, I can have both of my eyes functioning. So that's going to be really good. The second thing, especially yesterday, that kind of, kept coming up in my head is the idea that I'm still waiting on pain. But there is no pain. It has been absolutely painless, absolutely no discomfort whatsoever. And that shouldn't stay that way for sure. But it's just interesting because you're watching all these videos, you're reading all these blogs, and of course, some experiences are a little bit different, but I guess across the board, everybody is like, oh, it's painless. And yeah, it really is painless. So that's good to know. Other things, but this is more random, is that in my instructions, for example, they say that I shouldn't really wash my hair for 3 days. Which is kind of a thing because it means that, it says 3 days, but actually I think they mean 5 days because, first you have one eye, then you need to wait 2 days and then see the other eye. So I think just to be safe, they're saying not to wash your hair and all these things. Also, last night I slept with an eye mask on. So I get an eye patch when you leave the hospital after your surgery, and you keep that on for a day. And then it's like, oh, don't rub your eye. And I've noticed that in some clinics, also in YouTube videos, etc., there's people that get like these plastic shields almost that they can tape over their eyes themselves. But I didn't get that. So I just started wearing an eye mask just because I want to make sure that when I wake up in the morning or even during the night, I don't subconsciously start rubbing in my eye because I feel something, or you know what I mean. So that was quite interesting as well. So yeah, I will let you know after the surgery how it goes. I'm expecting the exact same thing. I feel very calm. I'm not really nervous. I am looking forward to the anxiety pill because that will calm me down even more. And then it is just a really strange thought to think that in 2 hours from now, I will no longer be wearing glasses, period. And just like that, we have surgery number 2 under the belt. I am done. Wow, honestly. So this one went a whole lot quicker in terms of surgery time because I went into the clinic, and then, it's the same procedure. They take you to the back, and there were only 2 people in front of me. So during the first surgery, they kind of, dropped my eye like every 10 minutes or so. Here, it was like every 5 minutes. They were just like dropping my eye, and I was kind of worried, like, if you're gonna go with this tempo, is that enough to get my eyes to where they need to be? That went well. There were also some fun people in the waiting room there from, again, Ireland and UK and Germany. So just like nervous conversation in that sense. My turn, I went in, same procedure, laid down in the bright yellow chair with all the way flat. And here's where it kind of became a little bit more trickier than during the first surgery, is that in the first surgery, they were operating on my left eye, which is all blurry because, well, drops and numbing and disinfect and like God knows whatever they all put in my eye. And then my right eye was kind of covered also because you're like laying under a cover. And of course that eye is also blurry because I can't see through that eye by default. But in today's surgery, they were operating on my right eye with my left eye already being completely fixed. I could like see way more of what the surgeon was doing, and I was kind of having a little bit of a harder time with that. And also the surgeon has explained much more. During the first surgery, he didn't really explain anything. He would just say like, oh, now you will experience some pressure. And in today's surgery, he was like, okay, and please don't move. We are now implementing or implanting the lens, all these things. And I'm just like, I don't want to know that because I can partly see with one eye, like what you're doing there. And then I also had a little bit of a struggle to kind of keep focused on the light because they were just so bright. But before you know it, I went in at 11:22 and I was out again by 11:51. That's kind of how, and that includes everything, like me walking in on the table, so it gives you an idea how quick it is. So maybe it was also a thing of expectation because in my first surgery I had absolutely no idea what to expect. Therefore it was like, oh, such a breeze. Also, not to confuse, like this surgery today also was not difficult and not scary. It was just a little bit different, but equally as quick and equally as painless. So my eye pressure is good. They taped it shut with another thing on my eye, and I just made it back home. And we originally were gonna do some more sightseeing in the afternoon here in Prague, but I guess we're just kind of canceling that. Just had some good lunch and then just gonna take a nap, see how my eye feels. Currently, no pain, no discomfort, no whatever. And then, we might do a few small things. And then tomorrow at 7:45, I have my checkup in the morning, and then I'm gonna do a few more things in the city because on Sunday we are going to fly home to Amsterdam. That was my surgery experience. So far, I hope it's helpful. I will, of course, keep on documenting tomorrow as well. And then probably I'll give you a little 1 week or 2 week update as well, just so that you kind of know how this is evolving. But so far, again, at Duo Vice, the clinic that I'm in, modern, professional, English, German, Czech, whatever language you speak, they can speak it magically as well. Super friendly, high energy, like just really nice. Like it's almost like I have never been into any kind of hospitalized environment where they were so friendly. Really, really good, highly impressed. So I'm gonna close my eyes and hope that my right eye will recover as good as my left eye, because my left eye specifically today is doing really well. So I'll get back to you guys. If not today, then tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. for my checkup. So our final day in Prague has begun. We just came back from the final visit at the clinic, I have to say. Quick 15-minute checkup, checked eye pressure on both eyes, checked the machine where you need to stare and look at the balloon. And then I met with the doctor who checked my eyes again. Everything looks fine, everything feels fine, everything is fine. She reconfirmed all the steps that I need to go through in terms of all the things that I need to do, all the eye drops, etc., etc. So tomorrow we will be leaving and flying back home. Thus, this ends my little ICL adventure in Prague. And with that, I'm also going to end this episode. I've kind of tried to record the days as they went and kind of be as honest and in the moment as possible. If you want to have a little bit more of a structured breakdown as to what happened and also give some backstory, because this is not the first time that I tried to have ICL. Something else happened before, a couple years back. I'm going to put it all on my blog. You can go to hubert.com and then there you'll find my blog and there will be a blog post there. Or look in the notes of this episode, I will post a link there as well. So I want to say thank you for listening. I am so happy that I did this. I can see. I'm not wearing any glasses. I had no pain. There is no discomfort and the surgery is nothing to be scared about. So I can only recommend this if you're considering. Consider it seriously and also considering coming to Prague. I mean, it's absolutely an amazing place to be. It's very affordable. It's beautiful. And we did a lot of sightseeing here as well. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end today's episode. Thank you for listening. Feel free to subscribe. Usually my episodes are a little bit more on the entrepreneurial side of things. This is something else, but I thought it was very important to document this as I had a lot of benefit from other people who wrote blogs, who made YouTube videos. I thought maybe do a podcast on this could also be interesting. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye.